Yo, what's good? What's good? It's just babe. You already know, man. Back again with another controversial conversation. It feels so good to be back. So, if you didn't catch the last episode we did, man, I was on my shit talking tour. I got a chance to really talk that shit, give a critical analysis of capitalism and why it's trash. We got a chance to debunk the myths of capitalism. We got a chance to talk about class consciousness and intersectionality and a better way forward and all of that shit, man. So you already know, go check it out. I also talked about the community mobilization course, the mobilization toolkit, and the civics course. Y'all go check those out. Links are in the description. Don't forget to hit the notification bell when you subscribe, because I already know you're doing it. You know what it is. It's Jokes to Bay. We building up this left wing leftist ecosystem for self-determination and I don't even know the other one. I'm that's something, right? Like it's something that we're saying. Anyways, I myself have noticed that there's just been this dumbass like assault on DEI, and like, why? Other than the fact that DEI is just another way to call black people nigga. I get that, right? Like I get that, but like I just don't quite understand the vitriol. Like it's a lot of hatred, right? So today I want to talk about how do we reframe DEI as American? Because with all these executive orders that are being flown through and the way that it seems like they're tailored towards federal companies, but it's like they want to push them towards private companies, and this shit is just crazy to me. And like this whole thing as a hatred for DEI, calling it un-American, is the thing that has me the most perplexed. I'm like, how the fuck is that un-American? And then I realize it's a ploy, it's a design. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to trick us into believing the bullshit, and we cannot do that. So what we are going to do today is we are going to frame DEI as the American ideal that it is. Let's have fun. All right, so diversity, equity, inclusion. These aren't just trendy buzzwords. They're not woke ideas. They're actually deeply American. They're about fulfilling the promise of a nation built on the ideals of equality, liberty, and opportunity. So today, we're not just defending DEI, motherfucker, we're reclaiming it as a cornerstone of American democracy. And to those who are trying to erase it, we're here to remind you that progress is never optional. It is inevitable. So let's talk about how DEI upholds foundational principles. So equality, the Declaration of Independence, that thing that they like to talk about along with the Constitution, it boldly proclaims all men are created equal. But let's be real, that promise has only been aspirational. See, DEI is about closing the gap between aspiration and reality by breaking down systemic barriers and ensuring equal access to opportunities for everyone. What about liberty and the pursuit of happiness? I know you've heard that before, right? Like that's definitely got to be an American ideal, I think, because America, well, it promises liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Yet these ideals remain out of reach for many. So that's why DEI initiatives aren't just extras. They're about creating the conditions where everyone can pursue their dreams free from discrimination and inequity. So let's talk about the American dream and the so-called collective ideal. Because the American dream says anyone can succeed with hard work and determination. But here's the catch. You can't run the race of life when the starting line is different for everyone, right? Like DEI levels the playing field by removing systemic hurdles, ensuring that success is about talent and effort, not privilege or circumstance. So let's talk about historical context, like the legacy of DEI in progress. Have you guys ever heard of what they call the melting pot? I'm sure you have. Because see, America's strengths have always come from its diversity. And the idea of the melting pot, different cultures and identities coming together to create something greater, has been our defining narrative. But let's not forget, This only works when equity and inclusion ensure that all voices are valued in the mix. So I talked about the executive orders that have been flying around, and one of them in particular is 11246. All right. When President Lyndon B. Johnson signed this executive order in 65, it was a turning point in addressing workplace discrimination. It mandated affirmative action, ensuring equal employment opportunities regardless of race, religion, or national origin. Policies like these didn't just benefit marginalized groups. They made America stronger and more competitive by unleashing the full potential of its workforce. Today, as these protections are being rolled back, we have to ask ourselves, are we moving forward or are we letting fear drag us backwards? Let's talk about DEI as a democratic imperative. A thriving democracy requires participation and representation from everyone, not just the privileged few. So DEI strengthens democracy by ensuring all voices are heard, all communities are included, and all citizens have an equal stake in our collective future. So let's get to it. Let's reclaim this narrative around DEI. So we have to address the myths. So the critics argue that DEI is about quotas or special treatment. But let's be clear. DEI isn't about giving anyone an unfair advantage. It's about removing barriers so that everyone has a fair shot. It's not anti-meritocracy. It is pro-opportunity. And it is a legacy of progress that is deeply rooted within it. You see, every major step forward in American history, civil rights, women's suffrage, labor protections, has been about expanding inclusion. DEI isn't a departure from our values. It is their fulfillment. So let's talk about the fight against these rollbacks and why we have to keep it up and why it matters. Because the recent push to revoke DEI-focused initiatives and executive orders, that's an attack on the very progress that America has made as a global leader. And when we dismantle these protections, we're not just harming marginalized communities. We're undermining the foundation of fairness, equity, and opportunity that makes our democracy sometimes, or it works in theory, right? Like when we put everything together in this melting pot with a recipe, and then we get to cooking, like let him cook, it comes together, right? So in theory, anyways, but we have to reclaim this. So let's reclaim the language of progress because they have taken that away from us too. And this is what we are going to do. We're going to take their shit and it's going to be ours again. This is for the home team. All right. So patriotism as inclusive love. Patriotism isn't blind allegiance or exclusionary nationalism. It is loving your country enough to fight for it to be better for everyone. Let's talk about freedom through opportunity. True freedom isn't just about the absence of restraint. It's about the presence of opportunity. DEI expands freedom by ensuring systemic barriers don't hold anyone back. And let's talk about justice as holistic. Because justice isn't a zero-sum game. Economic, racial, and social justice uplift everybody, making communities stronger and more unified. So look, diversity, equity, and inclusion are more than policies or programs. They are promises. Promises that this nation can live up to its founding ideals. To those who claim DEI is anti-American, I say, fuck you, first and foremost. But I also say, look at our history. Inclusion isn't the enemy of progress. It is the engine of it. You like that? Look, key in the ignition type shit? Yeah. Anyways, America is at its best when it embraces its diversity, ensures equity, and fosters inclusion. The question isn't whether we can afford DEI. The question is whether or not we can afford to not have DEI. And I fucked that question up, but I think you know what I mean. Can we really live these American ideals if we continue to roll back the very, very foundation of them? I don't think we can. And I need you guys to tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't think I am. And I don't think we're going down a good path. And I think you see it too. So look, like I said at the end of the last video, if you guys are ready to get to action and ready to get this stuff going, then hit us up. crn478.org. It is down in the description. You already know what it is. We got the community mobilization course, the mobilization toolkit, and the civics course. We're working on some more. Come find them. Come get them. Organize your community. Mobilize your community. Give pride to your community. Give hope to your community. Give love to your community, and watch your community rise. And like these guys say, it's power to the people. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.